Hello, friends. Oh, welcome back to my kitchen. Um, Welcome back to another vlog. I am at Mama Howdy Pila for those of you who are bumping into my channel for the first time. Let me move my. I'm at Mama Howdy Pila for those of you who are bumping into me for the first time. And if you hear birds chirping in the background, we have new family members. And yeah, Mahau is now a mom of two. Yeah, don't ask me too many questions. I'm just the mother in this house, and Mohau has her two little babies, and now she's got friends to play with. And let me show you Mohau's new friends. So these are the birds. Mohau calls them the baddies. So I don't know if it's baddies as in birds or baddies as in, girls and those type of things, but she calls them the baddies, the blue bed and the green bed. Those are their names. So until she gives them names, we will continue to call them the blue baddies. So yeah, if you hear bed noises, this is where they're coming from. So today I'm making chocolate chip cookies. I actually promised Mahau that I would make them, I think 2 days ago, but I've just been putting it off because of other things that, I had to do. So today I just decided, you know what, before I get into doing anything else, let me just make the cookies for her, and then she can enjoy them when she comes back from school. One of the easiest ways to get it stuck in your ways and never progress in your life is to tell yourself that you're not good at anything. If you guys remember, I did say in the beginning of the year, I think towards the end of last year, that I suck at baking. And you can tell from um, how I'm doing things that this is not my area of expertise. But I'm not allowing that to stop me from trying things and, getting better at it. And one of the excuses that you might tell yourself is, no, I don't have a fancy mixer, I don't have any equipment, to do the baking, but all you need is your hands, a bowl, and a spoon, and you can figure it out. And it's pointless to start by investing in equipment if at the end of the day you're not going to be baking every day and you're going to end up hating it. And that's one thing that I told myself, that eventually I will invest in maybe a hand mixer or something like that, you know um, but for now I'm just taking it day by day, or you know um, facing it with whatever that I have in my house. If I've got a wooden spoon, if I've got a bowl, that's all I need for now. And one day I will have all those fancy things that I might need to do all of these recipes. But for now, I'm just enjoying myself and doing things that, I want to try, and not letting, you know, perfectionism or, not having the right equipment to stop me. So this is where I'm starting at. But one day I'm sure I'm going to have, the skills of a baker and be able to make like fancy stuff, fancy cakes. But for now, this is enough. I'm just gonna let it sit for like 30 minutes, and then after that I'm going to warm up the oven and have this in the oven. And yeah, it should be done. It's easy. I'm going to be doing some cleaning up upstairs. Well, I'm changing up the bedrooms. It's not mainly cleaning, it's just changing up the bedding. It's a Friday, that's what I do on my Fridays. And I'm also going to be answering questions regarding the fireplace. Following my video last week about mistakes that we made in our village home, I got a lot of questions regarding the fireplace. So if you want to know a lot more about a closed combustion fireplace, and a wood burning fireplace, some call it a wood burning fireplace, some call it a closed combustion, I'm going to be sharing all the details about that. And in the meantime, we will be talking about some of my dating stories. I wanted to share a little bit of a fun story with you guys. I think a lot of people think that I'm always so serious, but there's also a funny and fun side of me that I think I want to share with you in today's video. And the reason why I wanted to share this is because of a video that I stumbled upon on Instagram. Basically, it was of a guy who said, no, we cannot be friends because you change your bedding once a month. I'll just insert the clip here, but I will remove the audio just so we don't get any copyright strikes. So many years ago, I met a guy. We started dating, we started chatting on the phone, and he would come and visit me at my house, but I was still staying at home with my parents. And one day he invited me to come over to his place, and he stayed in a different town than where I stayed. So I got on a taxi to go and see him, and when I got to his place, it's fine. He stayed in a flat, bachelor flats and all that kind of stuff. So when you get there, it's like everything is all open. You can see the whole place. So we got there, we got chatting, we started talking and everything. So at this point, we had been dating for, I think, over a month or something like that. But it was just, phone conversation, and he would come to my home to come and see me. So my first time getting to his place, I'm like, okay, he's a clean guy. The place is cleaned, but there was just one problem. When I got there, he had, the shiny bed sprays that our parents used to get back in the days. Well, I didn't mind it. It was clean, or it looked clean. But after a few times of visiting him, and one day when I finally got to spend the night at his place, it was, let me just say like this, I didn't sleep the whole entire night, and for every other night that I ended up being there, I just couldn't sleep the whole night. And the one thing that bothered me was the bedspread. If there is one thing, I think you guys have by now have noticed that I share a lot of videos where I'm cleaning my bedroom, and that is because the bedroom freaks me out more than any other space in the home. I always sleep with my bedroom clean. I always try and keep my sheets clean as possible. And sometimes if I see that midweek my sheets are not, especially the pillowcase, sometimes when I have other hairstyles, my pillowcase would get dirty, like after maybe 2 or 3 days if I don't wear a head wrap, or sometimes it falls off in the middle of the night. I will change my pillowcases in the middle of the week before the week ends. So I'm always freaked out by dirty bedding, dirty linen, and I feel my skin crawling or getting very itchy. So one day when he was at work, he invited me over to his place, and then he left me in the morning. He went to go to work and all of that, and I knew that he worked long hours and he would come home late at night, and I was there for a couple of days. So I decided, while he is out at work, I went to Edgar's, bought him a fresh new set of bedding and sheets and towels. And when he came back, he was surprised, and pleasantly surprised, I will say so. But there was just one problem. And the problem was I had decided to buy him white bedding. Being a guy that was sleeping on like maroon duvets and stuff, it wasn't even a duvet, it was a comforter set. And now having to deal with white bedding every week, I will tell you, he wasn't really happy that he had to wash his bedding like every week. And the first question that he asked me was, who is going to wash this bedding? And I didn't even think about that. But let me tell you guys, if there is one thing I always say is, if it doesn't show whether it's dirty or clean, I assume that it's dirty. And that is why I always prefer to have materials and fabrics in my house that I can tell when they are dirty and need attention. And that way I do not find myself in a situation where I'm wondering whether stuff is clean or dirty. And for some people, it's a problem when they think about having light colors in their home and all of that. But for me, it gives me peace of mind. Just knowing that I can tell that this bed is dirty and I don't want to sleep in that bed is all the peace that I needed. So unfortunately, he ended up having to wash his bedding much regularly. And one of the sad things that I would say is he mentioned that the problem with the bedding is because now he has to take the bedding to his mom's house to have it washed. And I just didn't understand the idea of someone who is an adult working having to take the laundry every week to their mom's house. And bless you to all of you who have your mothers doing your laundry for you, and you are adults, but I think it's very disgraceful and distasteful for somebody to be sleeping on sheets and bedding and expect your mother to wash that. I think at some point we need to have a little bit of respect for ourselves and also for our parents. The fact that you are sleeping with your husband or your wife and you expect your mother to be washing your sheets, that for me is just gross on another level. And yeah, it was a funny story for me actually, and also for him as well. But at some point, we actually ended up having an argument about him taking his bedding to his mom to wash. And yeah, I guess at some point I started, insisting on washing his bedding because I just didn't want another woman washing bedding that I had been sleeping on. So every time that I would leave, he would take off the white bedding and go back to his maroon bedding, and then he would put back the white bedding when I was there. And before I leave, I would also wash it just to make sure it's clean by the time when I come back. So it was one of those struggles. But I think eventually he got used to the fact that there is no getting around the maroon bedding with this woman. We finally settled on him getting bedding that is obviously not white, but still a color that I'm comfortable with, not worrying whether it's clean or dirty, and also getting him used to washing his bedding regularly. I think it is one of those things that, you can easily forget to do it if you don't make it a norm for yourself to wash your bedding regularly. And I love it when a man is clean, when his space is clean, and I don't want to be teaching a guy how to take care of themselves, especially now with us being married to men that are working full time, women are working full time, and now you get married to a guy that doesn't know how to clean up after themselves and how to keep themselves clean. It is frustrating. And for me, it is one of those things that, can tell you a lot about a guy, how often he washes his bedding and how clean his room is, not just himself, because, it's easy for you to put on fine clothes and then walk out the street. But when we go back to where you sleep, how does it look like? How does it smell like? That tells me a lot about the type of person that you are. I love the color scheme that I have going on in the bedrooms. So what I did was I split a set that I have with the bedspread and the pillows. The pillows that you saw me using in my bedroom and the bedspread that I used in the guest room are a set, but I wanted to use them separately so that I can have a common color running through the bedrooms. And the only thing I bought in here was the new sheets that I used on this bed, and also the blanket that I used, the orange one, just to bring in a little bit of a variation with the color and not just have one shade of rust going on in there. So with the burnt orange, it adds also a little bit of an extra color and a little bit of interest. This was much later in the afternoon when I wanted to clean my fireplace, but I first try and check if there's any hot coals and anything that might burn me. As you can see, some of the coals in there still look red, and it still felt a little bit warm. So I just wanted to check it out and see if it was safe for me to take out. This thing has been on since 4 p.m. the day before, and then we had it off at 12 midnight. So at this point it was like 4 p.m. in the evening, just after I went to go and fetch Mahal from school, and it was still hot. So you can imagine how well it retains the heat. I just like to move the coal around and just get a little bit of the ash to collect in the tray underneath, and that way it makes it easier and less dusty to transport this tray onto the outside, because it's got grates on the underneath and it's open. When you carry the whole tray outside, sometimes it leaves like a little bit of ash as you go out, so I like to just shake it off a little bit and remove the ash and collect the ash in the tray underneath. One of the few reasons that people don't like to buy wood burning fireplaces is because of the cleaning, but I don't think it's actually something that takes longer than 15 minutes. I think at most, if you are cleaning it, it will probably take you like maybe 5 to 10 minutes, unless maybe when the coal is hot and I had to do like shake off the ash like I did now. But in most cases, if you let it cool down completely, you should be able to clean it within like 5 to 10 minutes. The glass, you just wipe it down with some paper towel and water, and that's it. No soap, no nothing. Initially when we got the fireplace, they gave us like some liquid to clean the glass with, but yeah, over time you learn how to clean it better and quicker, and you just use either the ash that you have in the fireplace, or you can just use water. We use a combination of softwood and hardwood in the fireplace, but I think what is more cost effective, even though the hardwood is more expensive, is to use hardwood. It burns longer and it burns hotter, and it saves you money in that way, even though it takes a little bit of time for the wood to ignite, but you save money with the hardwood in the long run than when you're using softwood, because softwood just disappears in your fireplace just like that. One thing about me is I am lazy to get my hair done. If I get one hairstyle done on my head, it probably takes me like 2 weeks of thinking about taking it out before I eventually just stand in front of the mirror and just take it out. I am lazy to get my hair done, which is one of the reasons why I'm always wearing my natural hair. Someone actually asked me in one of my videos, like, how do you manage to last this long with your natural hair? I prefer to keep my natural hair because I don't even have to do anything to it besides comb it. But the whole thing of having to maintain braids and styles and wigs, I don't think I would even survive doing that. So that's why I just prefer to keep my hair natural. Even though it's relaxed, to me it's still natural hair. But yeah, it takes me a long time to just make time to get my hair done, and the whole admin of going to the salon also is just something that I always leave to the last minute. Right now, I think I'm just gonna go to the salon and get my hair relaxed. It's been over a month since I relaxed my hair, and I know it never lasts more than a month, but I'm just not sure if it's got new growth or it's just dry. But right now, I don't think like a normal comb would go through it, and this one is not going through as easy as I would love it to go. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and get it relaxed. The braiding, I'll decide some other day if I feel like braiding it, but I don't feel like sitting there for long. And then when I come back, maybe I might do some baking. I feel like making cookies or muffins or something like that, so I'll see when I come back. So I'm just back from doing my hair. I'm having my lunch now. It's couscous from like 2 days ago. We had this with some chicken and salad. And the other day somebody asked me like, how do I prepare my lunches and everything? I don't have time to prepare lunches. I'm always busy in the morning. By the time lunchtime comes, the idea of sitting down and making lunch just wears me out. Like, I don't even think I will be able to do it. So mostly my lunches are leftovers either from the day before or something like at night when I prepare dinners, I prepare enough to have leftovers for the next day. So I'll probably have like leftovers from the night before, and yeah, that's all I eat during the day. I don't like to make a big fuss about what I eat for lunch. So yeah, uh, this is so good. So, following my video last week on the mistakes that we made on our village house, I got a lot of questions regarding the fireplace. Not just that fireplace there, but also the fireplace here. Why we selected the one that we selected, what's the difference between this one and the one that we have in our village home, prices, and all those type of things. So, I'm going to give you a few answers to some of those questions. Um, this fireplace is called a closed combustion or a slow burning um, wood fireplace. Some companies call it slow combustion, some call it closed combustion. So basically, the whole system, because it is closed and not like an open fireplace that we normally see in most old houses that have been built. It allows you to control the heat that comes into the house, and it retains the heat much longer than your normal open fireplace. Um, and It's also made of cast iron. So if you know anything about cast iron, you know that the heat retention on cast iron is amazing. So the difference between this one and the one that we have in our village home, the biggest difference is just that this one is freestanding, the other one is built in. Both of them are the same, and the only difference will be the price. But the price also depends on whether it's a built-in or whether it's a freestanding, and also the size. The size of your fireplace is obviously determined by your space. The house here, when we put in this fireplace, or they sent in a consultant to come and check out the space and advise on the size of the fireplace that we need. Given that we have the stairs going up, which is an open area and it's not an area that can be closed off when we have the fireplace on, they had to account also for the space going upstairs in order for us to get the right size fireplace. So from the kitchen wall up until here and from here to there, you're looking at about 7 meters by 9 meters, which gives you about 63 square meters. And when you account for a little bit of the space going up the stairs and the passage, you are roughly looking at around 70 square meters. So this fireplace over here is, I think it's 10 kilowatt, 10 or 11 kilowatt fireplace. I'll just put up the details of it on the side here just so you can see the details. And it heats up to 70 square meters. So when we have the fireplace on, what we do upstairs in order to not lose the heat is we close the bedroom doors. So when we have the bedroom doors closed upstairs, the whole house gets warmed up quite quickly. Obviously, the bedrooms will be a little bit cold, but it's not too cold that it's unbearable, unless for the other room that is on the other side. The other bedrooms that are on the side get a little bit of sunlight, well, a lot of sunlight during the day. So it's not really a big problem in terms of getting them warm. Another question that I got was whether it was destroying the couch or not. We've had this fireplace for as long as we've had this couch, and the reason we put it over there is also for to allow the chimney to be placed over there. Initially, we wanted to have it placed on this side of the TV where we can have it sort of like a built in. But we couldn't do that because it would be expensive, number one, to get the chimneys to go all the way up here and all the way out. And because it's a double story house, also your chimney needs to go past your roof. So it was a lot of expense just to have a fireplace over there where you can have it, whereas you can have it close to the wall where it's easily um, rooted out and then placed safely. For the couch has been fine. The other day when I checked it, I felt that the leather is a little bit hard, but I think we are lucky because the leather is good quality. But it's not the heat that would destroy the furniture that we get. It's not like direct heat that hits the furniture that is going to destroy the heat. So most of the heat that you get from the fireplace comes from, you've got vents over here, so these vents is where the heat comes out. Then you'll get a little bit of radiant heat from here and from the door, but it's not a lot. And another bonus with this chimney, what we were advised to do is, so what we were advised was, when we you put in the chimney, some people will probably like have that joint over here and then the chimney goes out. What that does is you waste a lot of heat. So you get also a lot of heat from the chimney. So which is why we did a little which is why we did a longer flue. And this flue also gives the heat into the house. So you're not only getting the heat from this, but you're also getting the heat from this. So when you are doing a built-in fireplace, obviously that heat over there will not be coming into your house. That's heat that will be lost onto the outside. And you will have to account for that when you like doing your calculations for your square meters. And in terms of our fireplace in our village home, people asked if it was safe to have the TV over there. Yes, it is safe to have the TV above the fireplace because one, we have a mantle above the fireplace. Number two, we have insulated flues. This flue over here is not insulated, but the ones that we have in our village home are insulated with a material that doesn't allow for the heat to go towards where the TV is. And after we put in insulated flues, we also put in a hardwood material. Like we've got like a solid plywood material before we have the board that you see in front with the paneling. So we have two boards that you have before the TV. So you won't get any heat from the flue and you don't get any heat from underneath because we have the mantle. Then when the heat goes up, it also gets redirected. So you don't have like direct heat onto your TV. So the TV is fine over there. Cost wise, this one, when we put it in, the fireplace alone, I think right now it sells for about 14,000. And the 14,000 is not including your flues. Your flues will be determined whether you have a single story house or a double story house. And that will determine how many flues you need to connect your fireplace and also outside. And also it will depend, you want insulated or non-insulated, and those are the things that will start to drive up the cost for your fireplace, and then also the installation and labor. So I could say we paid in around 20,000 for this fireplace. And obviously you can buy your own fireplace, get somebody to come and install it for you, but my suggestion would be get somebody who already has contacts in the industry, who installs and supplies the fireplace. That way, they can get a discount for you. When we worked it out between buying it ourselves and having somebody install it, the price was just a little bit higher when we bought the fireplace ourselves. So I would advise just get somebody to supply the fireplace and also to install it. It's the same thing that we did in our village house, and that fireplace over there is a 21 kilowatt fireplace. So you're looking at I'm not sure how much we paid for that one, but it's probably over 30,000 for just for the fireplace alone. So it's a lot of money, but for me it's worth it. When you compare the price of firewood, and also because it's slow burning, it doesn't waste a lot of wood like your open fireplace. So when we had this thing loaded up yesterday, I mean the box itself, it's small, but the firewood that we have in here is enough to last us for 2 days. And we had it on from like 4 in the evening. And I think my husband went to bed like 12 midnight. And yeah, that he used up, we used up like half of the wood in there. And then it doesn't take up a lot of firewood. And it also depends on the temperature that you want. You can also adjust the temperature uh, with this allows you to control the amount of heat that comes into the house. If you want more, if you want less, obviously if you want more, your wood is burning quicker than when you want less. So um, I think that is all I can share with you in terms of the fireplace. So another question was, why did we not choose a gas fireplace? We wanted a gas fireplace actually initially when we moved in. We thought we were putting in a gas stove, then it makes sense to also put in a lead for the fireplace to do a gas fireplace. But when we went to get quotations and all of that for the gas fireplace, the company we went to, actually two of them, told us that a lot of people that had gas fireplace were replacing them with wood burning fireplace because what happens with a gas fireplace is a lot of gas builds up in your house and it irritates the eyes. So a lot of people were complaining about their eyes being irritated. Whether that is true or not, I don't know. But I know when we had like a smaller gas fireplace, there would be days when you would feel your eyes being irritated. Even though it was a gas once that we have like a small gas cylinder, yes, you would get your eyes being irritated. But I thought it was because I thought it was because we stayed in a small place. Because when I was growing up, we had a gas fireplace, a gas heater at home, and we used that all the time. We never had that problem. But when we stayed in Midrand, um, the gas heater that we used to burn our eyes. And when we got that review to say, you know what, a lot of people are removing gas fireplaces and putting in wood fireplaces, we just decided, you know what, maybe it's a sign to just put in a wood fireplace. And after we loved this one, deciding for our village home wasn't even something that we had to think twice. We knew we were going to put a wood burning fireplace because after having this one, it was like, why would you want anything else? And it's amazing. It warms up your house, but you have to protect your floors. Like I said, we've got a granite slab here to protect the flooring, and but we did bend the mat. I did bend the mat the other day when I opened the door. Yeah, it swung too fast, and then a little bit of the coal just fell onto the mat, and so be careful. It's hot. And yeah, I hope this answers some of your questions that you may have with the fireplace. If there's more, you can put it in the comment section or consult a professional.